All right, welcome everyone. So here we are with a new live stream at JetBrains TV. Today we're going to talk about Uno platform and hot design for Rider. It's a very important, very interesting topic. Even yesterday, I had a friend just saying, "Oh yeah, I'm just waiting tomorrow to see some magic about cross-platform UI." And today we have Andres as a guest. Andres Pineda. I hope I pronounced that right. So he's working at Uno. And hold on, my slides. So yeah, first things first. If you have any questions, you can drop them in the chat. I would try to either ask Andres right away. He said he's fine with that. Or if it's missing, if it's maybe if it's at the end of the session, then we're gonna address that over at the end. And also, yes, this is recorded. People always are curious about that. if there's something important going on, then yes, do that. But of course, it's nice if you stick around with us. And but anyway, if you want to continue later, then you can do that. And with that, I think I can add Andres. Hi, Andres, to the other
Hey,
side of the ocean.
yeah, Matthias, thank you. Hello, how are you doing?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Excited for the presentation. A lot of things that we want to present here, and hope that everyone that is online, thank you, everyone that is connecting. See a lot of hands already waving. Some of them are people that I know, which thank you for the support. Yeah, so everything's good.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Um, so yeah, should we start right away? Because people are dying to see something cool. I will add your screen here
Yeah.
and leave you alone with that. Take it away. And as I said, I will join with questions in that moment. And have fun, everyone, and good luck to Andres.
Yeah, thank you, Matthias. And again, welcome everyone. My name, as Matthias mentioned, is Andres Pineda. I'm a senior developer. I've been working with Uno for a few years now. If I'm not wrong, it's been since 2020, so very close to when COVID started. At Uno, I had different hats. So part of doing presentations, working in the code, and so on. Aside from Uno, I collaborate with a few communities in the .NET ecosystem, also in other communities. But around .NET, I part of the .NET DO in Dominican Republic. So this is the .NET meetups that we have monthly. So if you speak Spanish, you're more than welcome to come and join us. We do presentations every month. Aside from that, also since last year, I've been helping with Tech Batch, which is one of the nicest conference, and especially for me is one of my favorite in the East. And as a matter of fact, the call for paper for Tech Batch is already open, so feel free to jump to the website techbatch.com and apply your presentation. Happens in Pennsylvania every year. Dominican living in Canada for a few years. So change the beach for snow, but it's good. I love snow. I love the beach. So I have the both of each work. Have the best of each work. But okay, so we're gonna start right into the presentation, and usually we start by telling what is Uno. This time I wanted to change a little bit, and I'm gonna talk about who is Uno. Uno platform is this set of people, and from the beginning, I want to say that from the team, we want to thank everyone because we're a small team, but we have done great stuff. This is thanks to the community. There's a whole community that has been supporting us, and we have been growing. Thanks again for the community. We have different clients that trust in us. We have the Discord. You can just immediately, I can gonna make a pause and go straight into the Discord, where there's a lot of interesting discussion that are happening every day at every time. That Discord doesn't sleep. That Discord server. We have been very busy adding features, but also The community out there has been very busy using the features that we have been shipping. So thank you, the community. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, our clients. And this is who we are, and we want to say thanks. So what is Uno? So Uno, we can answer this question we will need two parts to answer this question, right? Because Uno started as a UI framework initially back on the beginnings, but it has evolved into something else, into a hot platform. So the name actually makes sense now when we say Uno platform. So to answer the first part, Uno platform, the UI framework, it is this library, this SDK, this framework that allows you to build multi-platform applications by using C# or SAML, with the help of different libraries that are part of the Uno platform ecosystem. Where we have things like themes, extensions, toolkit, support for third parties, and also some tools that are available from Uno. So we, with the help of those libraries, we allow developers to use your C# code or your SAML and target into your iOS, Android, in the mobile ecosystem, but also on desktop, where you're gonna have access to run the same source code into Linux, Windows, and Mac. But that's not all, since by using Uno platform, you will be able to run practically everywhere where .NET is available. So to the list, we could include things like Raspberry Pi, Embedded devices, and so more. So it's very extensive. And the most important thing about Uno platform is that we allow developers to decide what is the type of rendering that you would like to use. So we support native renders. That means that you will be able to use the native elements for each one of the platform. But also, we support a Skia render. So pixel perfect, we render the UI with the help of Skia Sharp. So aside from the UI framework that allows the cross-platform, Uno platform is this set of tools and libraries where, as I mentioned before, we have things that would allow you to support different themes in your application. With different themes, I'm talking about Cupertino, Material, and Fluent. In extension opens a door for a whole set of possibilities when we talk about library extensibility. And Uno extensions represent these day-to-day things that we need to add to our application, things like navigation, dependency injection, logging, serialization, storage, and so on. And with Toolkit, we provide a set of UI elements that you can include in your application to make your whole development process more efficient. So the whole idea around Uno platform and the tools and libraries around Uno platform is to increase productivity, right? And we offer all this, and we allow developers to use this tool in the IDE and the operating system that they feel more comfortable with. So this means that you are able to use Writer to build Uno applications from Linux, from Mac OS, or from Windows. In terms of architecture, Uno supports single project, something that is been around for a few years now in the .NET. And the way we ship Uno is by Uno SDK. So the Uno SDK is a way to simplify the dependencies in your project. So Uno SDK contains all the libraries that you need, all the things that we just mentioned before, right? And that you need in order to build applications. So whenever you want to include one feature, all you have to do is modify the project file and include the features that you want to have available in that application. So yeah, I mentioned that the operating system is not a problem. You can build from anywhere, especially since Writer is multi-platform as well. You can basically run Writer everywhere you want. So for example, if you are using Linux, which is I've been moving towards in the latest years. Writer and Uno platform runs very well. And I just want to ask you a question. If you're listening this and Linux is your box for development, what is the flavor that you use? You can put it in the comment. I don't want to start a war or a fight, which one is best, but just want to know what are the things that you are using for where are you working on? Where are you where are you developing your application on top? Tools, just want to mention really quick, there's something called Uno Check. And to get started, basically, that's everything you're going to need. So Uno Check is this tool that is going to allow you to configure your environment with all the things that you need for building Uno applications. Uno Check, .NET, the SDK, Uno Check, and the Writer plugin. You have that, and you won't need anything else. I will make sure to provide Matthew with this with this link, with the link with the documentation. You can anytime also jump into the documentation and go to getting started, because we're gonna jump right into code. Okay, so we're gonna start with what is Uno. So how to get started? How do I? I think I needed to has another. Yeah, let me click so I don't miss. Okay, so I want to show you really quick what is the developer cycle when you're building an application. This is a very simple application that I want to build to just to get started and to start things up, to warm up. So we're going to start from Writer. So we have Writer here. I have a project already open, but if you want to open a project, all you have to do is a new solution. So new solution, you already have the plugin installed. That is available in the plugin market, right? Marketplace. So you're gonna have available these options that are related with Uno. The one that we're gonna be talking right now is creating an Uno platform app. The other ones are for library testing and all this stuff. So here on the side, so we build this so that your application can be fully customized. You can from the beginning select either one of these presets. The blank is just a blank application, doesn't have any dependencies. It's just a blank new app. The recommended one, as you see, we already pre-selected some options that we believe are important for you and you're gonna probably be needing. And when I mention platforms and that we run practically everywhere .NET runs, I was not joking. You see from here, you can see the list of platform, Android and iOS as a mobile, WebAssembly, Catalyst, Windows, and so on. And the desktop. We don't have Linux here because we are running right from Windows. So if we have a Linux, we have a Linux option. And also here we can, of course, select the platform that you need. If you don't want Android, if you don't want iOS, let's say you don't want a mobile, you can on the presentation pick either MVVM or MVUX. If this is the first time that you hear about MVUX, I'm just gonna TLDR. This is implementation, a presentation implementation that we had created that is part of extension as well. So it's a way to extend the data bindings. Actually, I don't want to say data binding because it's gonna sound like an MVVM. But with MVUS, basically, you have the ability to keep your data immutable, while also we're going to be providing you with some tools that is going to make the whole connection between your data and your UI as simple as possible. There is more about MVUX in the documentation, and as the markup is either SAML or C# for markup. C# for markup is been available also for a few years now, and C# for markup allows you to just use C# for your UIs. I'm a SAML person, but I gotta admit that C# for markup is very neat because for those that just want to use C# for everything, this is the best option. And for the theme, we have either Materia and we have Fluent that you can select, and all this is as I said, you can add way more features that are here as part of the extension. But just for simplicity, we're gonna leave it as it is. So you click on create, this is gonna create a new project. But just to make it as simple, I already had the project here open. So we're gonna use this one that was previously created early this morning before setting. So from here, we just gonna just hit on play, and this is gonna launch an application. And while the application launches, probably this is a good opportunity to talk about a little bit about the project structure. Actually, I don't want to. Actually, I didn't want to launch. Didn't want to launch Andre. Okay, so let's wait for it. I didn't want to launch this specific target. I wanted to launch another target, but it's okay. While this is continue launching, all I want to show you is what is the application structure. So the application structure is something like so we have the application, and we have the different platforms. So here you're gonna want to have a list of the different platforms that you selected. So for instance, if you didn't pick Android or iOS, the directories are not gonna be there, and the rest you have is directories for the different part of the application. So services, stream, styles, and more. Wait a second, I'm waiting for this. Let me see if I can change. Okay, let me see if I can change it really quick. Give me just 1 second, and I'm trying to. It's because I had another project running, so bear with me. All right, so let's do something real quick. I'm gonna make it easier. So I'm gonna close. Let me open this. Actually, let me open and use this window. Let's reuse to make it faster. Okay, so now make sure that we are selecting the desktop. That's the one that I want to use, because the Android is already being used. That's why it was stuck. There's another project right now running with the Android version on the side. So we're gonna pick the desktop, and this time is gonna be all right. So in the meantime, what this is running, Uno is not new. Uno has been around for a few years. Uno is open source, which is very important. But before being open source, Uno was available for a built-in project. So a company here based in Montreal, the company behind Uno platform, was using Uno platform internally for their clients. Basically, the idea behind Uno platform was to being able to reuse the framework, being able to reuse this WinUI at that time was UWP, the UWP implementation. But now it's based on WinUI, that basically reuse what Microsoft had already provided in terms of UI frameworks, and so we can reuse and compile the same code into different targets. We started adding different platforms, and one of the latest one has been the desktop. So now that the application is running, I want to show something really quick. So this is the developer flow. Create an app, find new project. We have this blank application. As any UI multi-platform framework, you're gonna be able to run into different targets. So from here, you can change your properties on the left by using what I believe has to be the best hot reload available for development, because we can change the properties of our UI, or change the whole UI whatsoever, and we can receive the feedback immediately. This little bar that we have here is the hot reload indicator. So the green dot means that the hot reload is successfully connected, and by jumping inside the event, we can see the different things that are happening. So you change on the left, you move to the right. The idea with Hot Reload is that you hit on play and you continue working on the development of your application without having to stop until you feel good with what you have. So moving taking another example, let's say that you have this requirement. Also, all of you that know Figma, if you don't know Figma, Figma was created a few years ago as a way so that developers and UX developers, UX designers could interact between to provide with the requirements for the UI. Before Figma, it was honestly a mess. If you have been around, if you've been around for a few years now, you know how hard it was. But Figma provide this way so that if we can, as developers, focus on what is important and we can easily get the information from those designs. So we Uno platform went a little bit ahead and we created a plugin that we use on Figma, and we can extract the UI of the Figma design. This means that we could, if we want, by hand add the different elements. So if we want a text box, so you add a text box, or well, in this case, it could be a text box. And but even though this is fast because we have Hot Reload, it's even faster by using the Figma plugin. The Figma plugin, you pick the UI that you wanna have access to, and from the UI you click and select the Uno platform plugin. So you will find the Uno platform plugin as part of the plugins in Figma. So once you click on the plugins, this page is gonna open. Well, actually, the page looks like this. So it's the preview, just to make sure that I have the latest. And these options that we have here, I'm gonna go really quick over them so you understand what it is. So we have here the Spore, and on the Spore we have access to Spore the XAML, which is the UI, but also we have access to the different colors, fonts, and localization files that are part of the whole project. I'm gonna just copy this and use this as my design, and because I made the configuration that I was supposed to do, all we need to do is basically copy and paste the code. And as you can see, we went from a blank page with just a text block showing hello world into a full screen that matches most of the requirements that we have for the design. And I say most because there are a couple of things that might be missing here, like the color that we can also export, and the image that we can set and use the right image, the right source for the image. And with that, we can call the day. Please don't do that. If you finish early, just take another task and continue working. Your manager will appreciate it, and your team will appreciate it. But the thing with this, what I want to show is that the productivity is going to be increased just by using the tools that Uno has available for has available for you to use. But that's the Hot Reload, and as I mentioned, Hot Reload has to be one of the best Hot Reload experience out there. And the Hot Reload is part of, and the Hot Reload and Figma plugin are part of what is called the Uno Platform Studio. Uno Platform Studio is this set of tools that interact with your developer and make your developer experience improve your developer experience. We call it the productivity suite. But aside from the Figma plugin and the Hot Reload, we have something else that is called HotDesign. It's important to mention Hot Reload and HotDesign can live by themselves. You don't need the HotDesign and the Figma plugin, they can live by themselves. You don't need the Figma plugin in order for HotDesign to work. But what is HotDesign? Basically, HotDesign is the next generation for visual designer. That, of course, as everything that we build is cross-platform, and transform your application So you're gonna be running your application, and it's gonna transform that running application into a full designer integrated from any IDE and any operating system. So this was made available in as a closed beta back in November at .NET Probably you saw the nice presentations from my two coworkers, but also was released last week or a few days ago as a public beta. So if you want to try everything that we're going to be seeing in a second, I invite you to just go and I invite you to just go and use it. So how does it look? Hot design. Probably if you have seen this bar floating around, we already talked about this, but you saw this little flame and you might be wondering, what is this flame about? So if you click on the flame, basically this is gonna take you into an immersive design experience. So we took the application that was running and we created this design interface that you can use to modify the UI. So, for instance, from here, you can have access to different areas as a designer that it is. And when I say it is a full designer, trust me, it is. We can start with the toolbox. The toolbox represents the set of elements, controls that are available in your project. These are controls that are either built in on Uno, but you can also include third parties controls like that, like it's third parties controls. And here on the bottom, we have the elements. So on the elements basically gives you the tree view of the page that you are currently working on. So we have the main page, and you can select different areas, and you see here in the elements where the different parts are also selected. But also by selecting, you can also select from the elements. But also by selecting, we see that the toolbox on the right also becomes available. And here we can see, we're gonna find the whole set of properties that each control has available for modifying. So we have the button here, and so here we can change different things. And as a visual environment that it is, everything that you can modify that element is going to be available here. So we have two options. We have the smart, which it's going to try to be smart and understand what are the properties that you were trying to modify based on the context. And we have the all. Whenever you don't find the things on smart, or there are things that are not listed up there, you will have all the properties listed here. And if you don't, if you're trying to scroll and you don't find it while scrolling, we have this little search button as well that you can use to filter the property. So I've been talking about design, I've been talking about things, but probably you're still wondering, what can this visual design do for me? So we saw how we can transform Figma design into code and then have the application. But this will be hot design for UX, to call it in a way. I heard that expression this morning in a podcast. So from here, you will probably don't need the Figma plugin, probably, I say, because you will be able to interact and add the elements as you need. So if we want to add another button, we just drag and drop the button, and we can modify and use we can modify so that the UI matches our needs. It's very powerful, and we're going to go into a more detailed sample now. But before jumping into the other sample, I want to talk about these options that we have up here. So on the bar, we have the hot design. You see the flame is in a different color. It means that things are on fire right now because the hot design is enabled. We can disable and enable hot design. Display is a very cool features, because from here we can toggle the hot design on and off. This is on one page, so you won't see. You can interact, but whenever we are running the application, an application with multiple pages, we can navigate and do stuff with the application. Basically, allow the application to behave as it is.
Andres, sorry,
Yes,
very quick.
yes.
Do you have a zoom feature perhaps, or can make this one this application bigger?
This little bar.
Not for the toolbar. Yeah, I see.
Let me.
If
What is the name?
if it works out for you, because
Magnifier.
this
Okay.
app here is quite small.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me put this. I don't use a lot the magnifier, but okay.
That is perfect. That is
All
perfect for
right.
things that are smaller. That would be perfect. Also, there's one question from the chat, and it seems I already made a mistake. Although I think you have to clarify. The question is: does Hot Reload work with C# markup too?
C# for markup.
C# markup. Does Hot Reload work there?
Not at the moment. It's in the pipeline, but right now only supports SAML. Yeah, I see some of my coworkers are on the Uno team are in the chat. If you can add more details, but yeah, not at the moment. It's not available for C# for markup, only for SAML.
Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And yeah, I was showing this little bar here with just showing the options, because now we're gonna go more into details for what the Hot Design can add for us. But I wanna show these nice features. So these features, this feature allow to change the form factor of the page that you are basically working on. I'm gonna turn off the. Wait a second. I'm gonna turn off the magnifier so I don't get crazy. Where it is? Let me see. I don't know how to turn it off. Where's the magnifier? Okay, it's down here. All right. Okay, I'm back. So so from here, so you can see we can change the different aspect. We can so we test as a multi-platform application developers that we are. We got to make sure that our application looks good in the different platforms that we are targeting the application to run, right? And we can do that easily by using this toggle here, and we can adjust if so we need. The same for darting and lighting. So this is enough for what it is in general, the Hot Design. But now is when we're gonna be seeing the Uno platform Hot Design demo. So for this demo, I want to jump into this other application, which is more feature, more falling features, and this is Uno Chef. Uno Chef is an application that is open source. We use this application as a showcase of the features that we support, and also as a guide, we can call it this way, of how how we believe things should be done, right? So you can go and copy or inspire yourself from the recipes that we have available here on this application. So this is an Uno platform application. Yeah, we're using Uno, and we already running the project. And here we can see that this is an app that has some features, and we want to use Hot Design with this application. So the same as we did before, we click on the flame. We can see that the flame has already the two bars here. So we are already into the Hot Design experience. Something I mentioned before about the toggling, the toggling, you can see how we can change back and forth between Hot Design and interactive. So you can continue using your application as you need. So let's use some of the features that are available for Hot Design. We're gonna be changing and fixing some of the bugs that we were reported from the design. Designers are very they like things to be pixel perfect, especially based on what the way they provided with the Figma files or with the designs. And then we'll talk that the wrapping was not correct in some of the pages. We found that the wrapping in this page was not right. Second thing that we were told was that this image was cutting up in some of the interfaces. some of the devices. And then so we can figure out that the problem first was that we didn't use the right sizing first, and we didn't use the right stretch. We were probably want a feel uniform. Uniform is going to depend on the design, but in this specific case, we messed it up with the sizing and the stretching of the image. And finally, one of the things that we were taught from the design is that these buttons that right here doesn't have the right style. So we don't have to change the properties by separate, but we suggest that you use some styles that are predefined. And with this predefined style, you can then change the design just by selecting one of the options from the toolbox, from the properties. And with this, basically, we've fixed the things that the promise that we had, which is the button and the wrapping and so on. And we never had to stop the application. It's important to mention that all the changes that we are doing on the UI interface are being synchronized with the SAML. So you're running your app, you can have access to the data. We're going to see in a moment. And then also you can do the things that you need without stopping. If you think about it, whenever we are debugging and fixing bugs, let's say that you need to navigate to the home page, and the home page requires you to go through the welcome like this, 3 pages, tap, and then you finally go to the login. You log in, and then you go to the home page. It's like 4 interaction. Go to the home page, do a change. If you didn't have HotDesign, you will need to go to stop, do the change, come back, and see if the change actually fixes. Let's say for the image, for example, if that doesn't fix it, you will need to do the whole process all over again, which is a problem. So now what I want to show is talking a little bit about showing capabilities that are outside from UI. So we have this button. This button is going to take us right into the login. So we have the welcome, login, and main page. We can change that behavior right from here. So again, in the toolbox, we here have the navigation. If you can read the navigation right here, this is because we're using the Uno platform navigation. This is a feature that is available as well in the Uno extension, and that if you use the Uno prefer templates when you're creating your application, this is going to be for free. So you configure your routes and you specify where you want that route to navigate to. So the home/login is going to take you to the login page. But I want to change that, and for this demo, just navigate to the home, just because I don't want to be using my username and password by the time I'm showing this demo. So I'm gonna put back into interactive mode, and I'm gonna skip. This means that the things that we just did, it worked. So we skipped the house or completely the login page, and we are now in the home. This that we have here, this is real data. And this is where HotDesign, it's different from many other options that we have seen in the past or are available for other platforms. The fact that you can run your application can connect to the backend, to your backend, bring data, and you can use that data and that application as a canvas for you to do the changes that you need. Is the most productive part of Uno platform. So let's do a couple of things here, and we're gonna be changing this control that we have over here. So we're gonna exit the interactive part. We can see this is a fit view. This is an Uno platform custom control, or Uno platform control that is available for you to use. So this control, you specify data, and also you specify the template that you want the data to have. So here, what we want to do is changing the data inside a template. So by changing the data in a template, that means that all the items in the template should be affected. And this is what we want to show. We're gonna do some a very small and minimal change. We're gonna just change the size. We received a notification that the title was not seen correctly for many folks. So we're gonna change that. We're gonna jump back into the homepage, and we can see that all the items that are part of the collection were changed. So item template, change one, and all then I'll modify at once. And I want to use the time. I want to take the opportunity also to show something else. Like you see this little star that we have here. Whenever we are in the desktop mode, this is actually a heart. We can change that by using adaptive UI, and this is basically a way for us to tell whenever we are using a, a size that is smaller that certain numbers. We already have predefined set numbers. I want to change your value. I want to show you this one really quick how it works, and but I want to then show you something another way to do it. So we have the string geometry, which is the image, and we are telling here that for the narrow version we want to use a star, and for the normal we want to use the icon heart. This is up to you to pick, but it not only works with images. You can basically work with everything. For example, let's do another example. I'm gonna drag and drop a button here, and I want to use by using the adaptive layout. I want to change the behavior of the button. So from here, the same, we drag and drop, and we're gonna change some properties. Let's say the content, which is gonna represent what the user sees. So we have responsive extension values. We enable this here, and we use the one that matches what your needs are. So for mobile sizes, we're gonna use something short, pick an option. And let's say for the normal, we're gonna be using something more expressive. What do you feel? What do you feel? What do you feel? What do you feel how do you feel about to eat today?
Andres,
Something more expressive.
Andres, just a quick reminder
Yeah.
that some of the things are quite small, so I leave it to you if magnifier or just to remind you.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna for the I imagine that you're talking about this little part
Yeah,
here.
yeah,
Yeah.
mainly, yeah.
So I'm gonna keep the magnifier around. Let me see how can if I learn how can I. Okay, it's Windows logo plus. Okay, I'm gonna learn how to use magnifier anyway. Windows logo plus. Okay, so yeah, so what we're doing here, we
Thanks.
were changing the responsive extension values. This is available for all the controls, and from here we can. I was showing that we can select a breakpoints. If you have done web development, this is very similar to the way CSS and web development works, where you can specify breakpoints, and depending on the size of of the canvas of the UI where the application is running, you're gonna get notification for those things that are changing. But you don't have to listen for anything in Uno platform. You just need to specify the things that you want, the things that you want to happen when this breakpoint hits. So we have two. We have the narrow, which is usually something like mobile, and we have the normal. And here, what we're doing is we're specifying different values for each one of them. So by going back and by changing the size, we can see the button we just added has the title. What do you feel about it? Well, about eating today? Probably that was a typo. And if we change the size to something more smaller, we can see that the value it's using the one that we want for mobiles. So This is part of Uno, and you can access to those properties by using HotDesign. So HotDesign allows you to access most of the functionality. I don't want to say it all, but probably all the functionality that we have available in Uno. We saw the navigation, we saw the adaptive layout, but it's also the bindings, because if you want to change the bindings, how your application behave, you can do that as well. Let's use the same button, and by using the HotDesign, we want to change what we want to do something with this button. Let's do this, and so we're gonna use the comment. You know that buttons has a comment that you can assign, and we're gonna assign a comment by using bindings. So from the binding, you have either value, bindings, or resource. And from here, we're gonna add one of the elements. Since the page already have a data context assigned to it, we already have access to all the different properties and methods that are available in the class. And let's make this the command for this button, and we just close. And from here, we just be able to change, exit the exit the design mode and go into the interactive mode. And basically, we're just using the button and that we just added. The bottom, that logic was only to navigate to the search, but this can be anything. And HotDesign allows you to pick the comments that are available in the model that is part of the binding. And okay, so I have another, and it is talking about this time we're gonna be seeing custom controls. I want to, let me exit really quick. What's happening? Wait, that I'm doing something that I'm not supposed to do. Wait a second. And what I want to show is, okay, so we can go from here. We can go from here. So, okay, so here we have this page. In this page, we have the image is a very good design. So we have image, so we have steps and more. So let me turn on HotDesign again because it was off. And I want to show this. It's already created. This is using a third-party control. This is using, what is the name of this control? Let me see if I can. Let me see, what is the name? Okay, so we can pick here. Let me open this really quick. Okay, so this is a short control, and it's live view. So we can, as you can see, by using HotDesign, we can also interact with controls that are not necessarily Uno platform. And if we want to add this, I want to go through the process of modifying this screen and working with this third-party control. The first thing that we want to do is changing this tab bar. So we use another tab bar. I'm gonna pick one tab bar item. You can search, of course. Search is always available. Tab bar item. I'm gonna put it to be the second one. It's here. This tab bar item, I'm gonna call it numbers, just because. And now we want to select one area. So the area that we're going to be displaying by using the navigation, the area that we're going to be displaying for this specific tab is the region, and the region is also called numbers. So with this, we should be able to interact. Let's exit, Ctrl+Shift+A. Whenever you have too many tabs, too many view windows, you can close them all together or toggle by using Ctrl+Shift+A. This is a nice shortcut that is available also on the Windows all. That's basically what it did. So let's toggle. Let's see the numbers. Okay, so we can see that we have an empty canvas where we can drag and use our custom control. So what we want to search here is the Cartesian chart, and we just want to make sure that we add it into the right control. Let's see. It changed the selection, but let's see. We can anytime use this tree view to see where the element was placed. A layout. Yeah, I don't see it. Okay, so it was not added. Okay, so here we have it. It didn't work the first time. I didn't add it correctly. So here we have the Cartesian. So we have available the control on our left, and we have by selecting areas, properties that are available on the right. So from here, what we continue to do is binding the right information, binding the data that this control is going to show, and to access those, we check if the smart has it. The smart. Okay, now we're selecting the Cartesian chart. Okay, and so the smart is not showing. So we can anytime search for the property. So the properties that we're looking into a chart is the series and the X and Y axis. We can scroll. I know that they are at the bottom, so we're gonna pick the series that is here, and we're gonna change the value that we're using to display. By using bindings, we're gonna look into the model. So let me make sure that you're seeing what I'm seeing. Make sure that okay, we're gonna look into the model, and I know that this is part of the recipe. And in the recipe, we're gonna pick the property that is called the same way of the prop of the series. So it's called series. So we close here, and we're gonna repeat with the other two properties. The other two properties are the XAs, doing the same recipe, and then here we find the XAs. We select it, we close, and then we're gonna finish with the YX. The same. We got the recipe, and we find the YX. And okay, let me exit the designer. Let me put this, and now we can see that we got this similar experience that what we had before. So we haven't stopped the application. The application has been running since the beginning of the call, at the beginning of the presentation, and we were able, just by using HotDesign, to add third-party controls, buying data, and showing the results. This is I don't know how you feel this is, but this is incredible. If we see, if you have seen the different developer experience in terms of design and reload and all the things that I think and all the things that you have available, we are right now in the high productivity vertical. So we at runtime, having access to the data, and design your application on top with real data. If we look back, different offers that have been available, even even around the .NET ecosystem, where we have a preview, and the preview would allow you to preview your application, but basically you didn't have access to data, you didn't have access to interact with your app, you didn't have access to any of the things probably that we have seen HotDesign doing today. As a final example, I want to show us a final demo, and this demo is going to be around something that was released recently. And this is about how about the HotDesign experience when we are working on mobile development. Let's say that you don't have a desktop target, you're only working for iOS and Android, but you want to have all this awesomeness that we have seen. So I'm going to be using the same demo that we had at the beginning. And this time, I'm going to run the application into my Android device. So this is the demo. This is the application. So the one that we copy and we brought the design from outside. And we have this application already running in this device. This is my personal device. I have it here on the side. I'm using a really cool application. You can visualize your device. And we see here that HotDesign is also available, but you might wonder, how will Uno platform we have access to a whole canvas when it's so small? So I have the answer for you, and the answer is that we figured it out. So clicking HotDesign on a mobile device is, you will open this HotDesign windows, and basically you have your device on one side and the whole design experience on the other side. So the same that we saw before, we can click and also tap. I'm tapping on the device. I'm tapping on the real device, and we can select elements. And once you pick an element, you can move things around. Let's see if I don't mess it up. Let's see if I want to change this and I want to move it to the other side. I'm going to use my fingers. Let's see. Probably have two fat fingers. So I'm using the click. I'm using the click of the button. But basically, this is happening in my device. And you can change things, you can modify. So everything that we saw previously on the desktop, when we were running the desktop version, you can do it as well from this canvas. You want to add a checkbox? Of course, you can go ahead and add the things that you need. The checkbox. Wait a second, because this is. Yeah. Okay. So basically, this is. I'm sorry for the final things. Basically, this is how you would interact with the same HotDesign, the same hot experience, and the with a mobile device. With this, I want to say that you can join us at Uno platform at GitHub. You can join us at the Discord, or you can try everything that we presented today just immediately right now. So go to GitHub, go to the community, ask questions, and we'll be more than happy to answer that. Thank you very much.
I'm coming. I'm here. And I'm so hungry now.
Because of all the food that we saw, right?
I think it's gonna be the avocado bread with
Avocado toast,
with
yeah.
eggs. Yeah, I'm sure. Okay. Yeah, great presentation. Especially the last part blew my mind, and it was just in that moment that also someone in the chat wrote. I will put it on screen here. Wow, yeah, that was exactly my reaction, where you tapped on your phone and had it opening up the editor, the designer. That was pretty cool. Okay, but let's go through. So at the very beginning, and I asked you, but I'm still, at least I am slightly confused. I asked you about this hot reload for C# markup.
Yep.
I actually had to look that up because I thought I might answer the question in the chat already. But at the website, if I'm not taking it the wrong way, I think it says C# markup supported for Hot Reload.
Hot Reload, yes.
Mhm.
They are two different. They are two different technologies. So Hot Reload is the first thing that we saw, where you can have your SAML and you update your SAML, and your UI is gonna reload based on the changes that you do on the SAML. But then we have HotDesign, which is where we
Mhm.
have this canvas that we can draw Hot Design is on top of Hot Reload by just allowing to interact between the UI and the SAML and refreshing on the way back.
Okay,
But
so
Hot
hot reload,
Reload,
yeah.
yes,
Hmm.
Hot Reload and C# for markup, yes, is available.
Okay, okay, good, fine. Then let me go through here. Um, there was also me myself not excluded. For a moment, I kind of forgot what is this dialog you have open, but that is open when you start the application, right? The designer.
Yeah.
You also talked about the Figma, and I think I shared this situation with someone from the chat as well. So that was not the Figma part, and Figma is also not mandatory to do anything
Yeah.
for the UI. Yeah.
That is correct. Yeah, that's why I just use show Figma really quick just to show what is the developer cycle when you're using Uno platform. So basically, I was showing all the different capabilities that you have. But in order to work with Hot Design, you don't need Figma. Hot Design, you launch your application, find new application, and you can start dragging elements the same way that you would do with Designer, with another designer, but with the difference that you will be able to interact with your data, you will be able to interact with your models, with your bindings, and everything that your applications
Mhm.
already have available. Uh, so you don't have to stop it to get data and see how the data looks.
Okay, gotcha. Also, very cool. I just kind of noticed that the domain that you got for Uno, that's so cool that there's the top level domain dot
Yeah,
Uno, and
yeah,
you pick platform as the,
yeah.
yeah, that's very cool. Um, okay. Was there anything else? I don't. Let me read the last comments, because since then, when we started talking, I didn't completely follow. Here, can you use F sharp with with Uno?
Oh, not, I would say not directly. You know, you cannot build UIs with F sharp, but you know that if you compile your F sharp, it's just a .NET. So you can have functionality in F sharp, but you cannot build application with F sharp, unfortunately. No.
Mhm. Okay. And yeah, excellent presentation. People say I'm joining that comment as well. Thanks,
Thank you.
Anders, for demoing on device host. There was a cool presentation. Thank you very much. Was very interesting, and that that could make me look into, UI and real user-facing applications again, because I'm so far away from that. Um, Okay, there just another question coming in. Let me see. How far can we manipulate? I'll also put it on screen. How far can we manipulate bindings for example, we can select different sources for something, but we can also add a new property in the view model and use it, even if it has a hard-coded value.
A new property in the view model and use it. While the debugger is while the hot design is running, like modify the C# code in the view model and then come back to the designer and use that. If that is the question, no, uh, because the C# part we need to recompile, and but you can have those properties in your view model, and you can go as deep as you want. Uh, for example, if you have a property that is a field, we can. I'm not sharing my screen. So if you are binding to a property, to an object,
I can share the screen. Yeah.
yeah,
Or
yeah. So I'm gonna just to answer that part of the question. So I'm gonna toggle this back. I'm gonna toggle this back, and there are places where you have access to. Let's say you have the object. For example, you have the recipe, and the recipe has a property inside, and you can go deeper and deeper and deeper. So something also good about the bindings that probably I didn't mention, but it's important for people to know, is that you can see while you're doing the binding, you can see not only the value that is being bound, but also not only the property that is being bound, but also the but also the current value of the property. Let me exit this really quick and go back here. I want to go home. No, so what doesn't show me home. Okay, so I'm in the same. Actually, no, I want to see this. Is that it's in the template? Let's say, for example, with the bindings. This is related with the questions, and it's related with the binding. So I want to start the debugging. No, I'm sorry. It's the opposite. So it's because I don't have this. So okay, I'm selecting the control. And selecting the control, it is a template control. And from here, we should be able to, let's do smart, which is easier, value template. And in the value template, let's select and the item template. And see, this is the avocado toast. So if we change this template, we are gonna be able to select, for example, the different values. Let's look, for example, the toast. If we go here and we see the binding, let me turn this on so you can see. So this is bound to the name. Okay, this is actually, well, this is not going to be a good example because this is already an object. But for example, if this inside the name, you want to use things that are inside the name, for example, the length, which is a property of the string, you can just use it, and by changing, you have the value. So to answer the question how deep you can go very deep. In the part about the application running, and then you adding code in the C# part, and then continue using, to my understanding, that's not possible yet.
Okay, more questions coming in actually. Could you access WPF possibilities by extending Uno?
Can you access WPF possibilities by extending Uno? You mean like using Uno for WPF? Access WPF. Uno platform is based on WinUI. So if you, from what I've seen, WPF, I've seen migrations from WPF applications into Uno platform, which would be mostly the UI part, because the whole logic is just C# and you can reuse that. For example, we saw something similar. This tool, which is the Nougat Explorer. Let me, if you allow me to share my screen again. If you put my screen, and probably this will answer the question that we're getting. So we have, if you go to nougat.org and you pick any of the Nougat package, let's say Newtonsoft. I don't know why. I always go to that one. So from
one
here,
package everyone knows.
yeah, right. Everyone knows this package. Thank you, James, the creator. So from here, you have the Nougat Package Explorer. This tool is used to be a WPF application, and it was recompiled into Uno platform. The idea here is that this application allows you to take one Nougat package, and you can inspect that Nougat package. So powered by Uno means we and Claire, I don't remember her last name, collaborated to make this tool available. But this tool was already running as a WPF application.
Claire Novotny, yeah. And I just remembered, yeah, this I don't know how I could forget about it actually. But during my transition from Windows to Mac OS, the Nougat Package Explorer was one of the things that I really missed. Yeah, and I think there's also something that you can actually install. I'm not sure if it's also built on Uno platform, but to have it right in the browser is just awesome.
Yeah, this is by using, so Uno can target different, different platform. One of the platform is the web by using WebAssembly. So this is the WebAssembly version of this package, of this tool, this application.
Short question, because one other application, or that has an application on the Windows side, but has a web, let's say, adequate on, or just generally not on the macOS side. That's not what I mean, but you get my point. Yeah, as something that I can use from the web. MS Build Log Viewer. Have you ever looked at that? I'm not sure what they are using actually.
MS Build, I think I had it on here.
Structured Log Viewer.
Yeah, MSB Structural Log Viewer. Yeah, this is one of my favorite. You see my desktop, the ping. I try not to ping applications to the desktop because you can find it really quick.
I see it.
But that's one that I have because it's a very good tool, and whenever you're building and having issues, this tool is gonna help you figure those problems easily, or
shout out to shout out to Kirill Ozenkov. Really great tool. We all love your stuff there. Yeah. Okay, let's continue with questions. I'm glad so many are coming now. So people, please keep them going. There's one question here. Can we have some metrics to see the memory CPU impact of using this approach? Now I forgot what this approach
probably Hot Design. Diomedes, let me know.
7 minutes ago.
Sorry. Yeah, let me know if you're talking about Hot Design. Yeah, because Hot Design, so you launch a designer. In terms of memory, I could show my processes, but I could probably show things that I shouldn't. It's not high memory. It's not. It doesn't consume a lot of memory. I want to say. Even though this computer has some good resources, I have made the same samples in another computer with lower resources, and I've been able to run without any problems. I would say Diomedes, probably give it a try and see how it works out for you, especially with the hardware that you have, and let us know if you run into any problems. I mean, we're open source. You can at any time open a GitHub issue or a discussion directly on GitHub, or if you immediately want to get probably more direct answer, you can just jump into the Discord and ask questions there.
I just catch that from the chat. Someone mentioned there's also something called Uno Island, which lets you host small Uno parts into WPF, right?
Oh yeah, thank you, Car. Car is part of the Uno team. Yeah, Uno Island. So you can host Uno application into WPF as Car mentioned. So you can build Uno UIs and host that UI into your WPF. So let's say you already have a WPF application and you want to add more features. You can use Uno as your new features, and then you can embed those features inside your WPF shell.
Okay. So this is also under the Rider umbrella. So I also have one more question about integration with Rider, and also since I'm generally curious, so you have that Uno plugin available since last year. I think, when was it? July. So not for so long actually. Yeah. And my question is, or first of all, that's the most comprehensive new project dialog that I've seen there, with so many options. So very, very cool about that. Now,
and if you notice, there are many options, but we try to organize it in a way that it doesn't feel that it is too much, that people jump in and say, oh, I don't know any of this, and you're just gonna close. And so the options are well organized. The people behind that organization did a very good job.
Now I do have one more question, because but I didn't also read a lot on that plugin website. But I also see, for instance, there's a logger window, for instance, which it brings. Yeah, I mean, okay, first let's start a little bit differently. Generally, what this plugin provides is integration for HotDesign, right?
The
HotDesign and Hot
the
Reload.
plugin
Mm-hmm.
the plugin gives you access to the templates,
Template.
to support for SAML, support for Hot Design, Hot Reload.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if you want to build applications, Uno platform applications with Writer, you will need a plugin.
And I also saw there's a logger window, or it says in the change log, at least logger window has been reworked. So you also have a couple more things like a logger window, for instance, or
Logo Windows. Let me see
yeah,
if I can read it.
it's not too important if the logger window has been reworked to include log filtering by log level, a clear console button, and various bug fixes. It's just something small that I catched here from the plugin website. But yeah, people, I'm not sure if you mentioned it about the plugin, folks. If you want to check it out, what Andres has shown today, then also make sure to install the Uno platform plugin.
Yeah, I mentioned it. Mentioning that basically, if you wanna get started right now with Uno platform, you just need install.net. You install Writer, right? I probably already have Writer installed, and then you can install the Uno platform plugin, and that's all. Uno platform plugin, latest version, I'm gonna have Uno Check available. So Uno Check is this tool that is gonna configure all your environment, getting the Android things, getting the Java things, getting all the things. I mean, configuring cross platform. Anyone who has developed cross platform know how painful it can be, because multi-platform means that you need to run your application for all those platforms, and your environment should be ready for those. But with UnoCheck, we remove the friction that you have from uh, having nothing installed into getting an environment that is up and running for work, and also the updates. So new updates comes, iOS comes with new updates, Android comes with new updates, and just running Uno Check again is gonna make sure that you have the right things.
Okay, now I'm curious because I feel some copycat vibes there. I also know there's a Maui check.
We got inspired by it. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
we got
I
inspired.
I hope.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, if you go to the Uno Check repository, which is also open source, you will see that we give kudos to the person that did the initial work on the Uno on the Maui check.
Okay, Andres, cool. Very, very cool. Thanks for the presentation once more. I think there are no questions anymore. Let me bring up my screen once more. So I noticed you have Discord as well on your more information slide, but we also both missed the YouTube channel. I just noticed that why I was actually seeing someone replying in the chat with the account. So folks, there's also a YouTube channel for Uno platform, but otherwise here you have the contacts and yeah, contacts for Uno platform and also for Andres.
And about the YouTube, I want to say something really quick. The
Yeah,
YouTube, we
sure.
have a lot of we have this series that is called Tech Bites. So it's a small, very small but very informative sessions. We're talking about 5 minutes, and we show you something really quick in 5 minutes. So it's like give me 5 minutes, and I'm gonna show you how to do navigation with Uno platform. Give me 5 minutes, and I'm gonna show you how to do MVUX. So things that I mentioned here that probably were new for you. If you want to get more, you always the documentation. But if you want to get small bites or tech bites, go to the YouTube channel.
And I see it's not just a couple of, a few videos. It's quite a lot already.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm just browsing through.
yeah. We have been busy. As I said, we're a small team, but we have been very busy shipping good things for the community, and it was also it was the first live. But thank you the community for the support that we're receiving. Yeah, go to the into the Discord so you can see the type of conversations that we have been there.
All right, folks, that was it. Thank you everyone for joining, for all your questions. Thanks once more to Andres for doing this. This was really insightful. And yeah, if you like things like that, then please join, subscribe to our channel, hit the bell button and all that stuff. Hit the like button, hit everything basically. Also follow Uno platform account, follow Andres, and yeah, just try it. Thanks again, and see you next time then. Bye bye.